and welcome. I am going to be working on the try-it problems for all of the different transformations. So we're going to start on page 13 of your pre-algebra quarter 3 notebook, and we're going to work on the translating transformations. So I want to translate the figure using the translation 5, -6 and label my post image. So I have triangle ABC, and it looks like I want my X to be a +5, so I will go right 5, and my Y is a -6, so I will go down 6. So I'm going to go A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is A prime. B is going to go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's my new B. And C is going to go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here is my newly translated 5, -6 shape. Note that it did not change size or shape. Now I'm going to translate this figure using -2, -3. So it looks like X is going to be left 2 and Y will be down -3. So here goes A. I'm going to go left 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3. A prime. B, left 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3. B prime. C, left 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3. And D, left 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3. I should have a similar shape. Let's just connect the dots here. And it looks like I do. Not perfect, but I have gone left and down. Okay, let's see how this figure was translated. So first off, here's my original and here's my new figure. I can tell by these little notations. So let's look at D. D starts at 1 and then it goes left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So left 6. And then it goes up 1, 2, 3, up 3. I can check with another one. Let's just check A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 1, 2, 3. So it looks like I'm going left 6, so that's a -6. And this is the only answer with -6, and it goes up 3. My answer is B. We're going to turn now to page 15, and we're going to do the try-it problems for reflections. So if you remember, when I'm reflecting across the x-axis, my x is going to stay the same, and my y will become its opposite. If I'm reflecting across the y-axis, my y will stay the same, and my x will change. So I have this nice J, K, and L. So let's look at what J's point. So I have this nice triangle here, and I'm going to go 1, and it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. K is -1, 2, 3, up 1, 2. And L is 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is also up 2. So I am reflecting over the y-axis, so my y will stay the same, and my x needs to be the opposite. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So let's do J prime. I need -1, 4. So J prime is going to be now -1, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's J prime. K prime is going to be the opposite x, so it's going to be +3. Y stays the same. So J is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. There's J prime. And K prime. Now I'm going to look at L prime, and it's going to be the opposite x, -4. Y stays the same. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to go up 1, 2. So there is L prime. So I'm now going to connect, and I'm going to see that my L has flipped and my K have flipped, and my J has flipped over the y-axis equally. So that figure has been reflected over the y-axis. Now we're going to reflect ABC over the x-axis, over this axis. So my x stays the same and my y changes to its opposite. So let's take a look at A. A is at -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A prime, my x will stay the same and my y will become the opposite. B is at -1, 1, 2, 3. My x will stay the same, my y will become the opposite. And C is at -1, 2, 3, 4. 1, my x will stay the same and my y will become the opposite. So A prime is going to be -2, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B prime is going to be -1, -1, 2, 3. And C prime will be -1, 2, 3, 4, -1. And now I have reflected this triangle across the x-axis. Alrighty, last problem on this page, we want to find the coordinates of the vertices after the given transformation. So we're reflecting across the y-axis, y, same, x, opposite. So let's take a look. A prime, y stays the same, x becomes a +5. B prime, y stays the same, x should be the opposite, but it's 0. 0 doesn't change. So B will stay where it is. And C prime, y stays the same at -2, x becomes -1. When I'm reflecting across the x-axis, x will stay the same and y becomes the opposite. So let's look at A prime. X stays the same, y becomes a -7. B prime, x stays the same, y becomes the opposite. And C prime, x stays the same and y becomes a +2. Alrighty, we are now going to turn our attention to page 18, which is going to be some try-it problems of some dilation. So remember, dilations are different from those other two reflections because the size of my shape is going to change. If I have a scale factor between 0 and 1, my shape should get smaller. If I have a scale factor greater than 1, my shape will get bigger. I am simply going to be multiplying each point by the scale factor. So I need to know what my points are first. Let's look at J. J is at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. K is at -1, 2, 3, 4, -1, 2, 3, 4. And L is at 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, 2, 3, 4. So if I'm looking for my scale factor, I'm multiplying them all by 0 or 1/4, and 1 divided by 4 is a 0.25, which is a nice non-repeating fraction, so I can use 0.25 to multiply. 0 times, of course, anything is 0, so that will stay the same. 4 times 1/4 or 0.25 is 1. K prime, -4 times 0.25 is -1, -1. And L prime, 4 times 1/4 or 0.25 is 1, -4, -1. So my new J will be here at 0, 1. My new K, -1, -1. And my new L will be here. And so, as predicted, my shape has become smaller. Same shape, much smaller size. So let's take a look at ABC, and I am looking to multiply this by 2. So my A starts at 1, 2. My B starts at 2, 0. And my C starts at -1, -2. So A prime multiplying by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. B prime multiplying by 2. 2 times 4 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. And 0 times 2 is 0. And C prime multiplying by 2. -1 times 2 is -2. And -2 times 2 is -4. Now I'm going to plot my new points. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's A prime. 4. For B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. And C prime is going to be -2, -1, 2, 3, 4. And this was a greater than 1 number, so I do end up with a bigger shape. I'm going to find the coordinates of the vertices of each figure after the given transformation. So in this case, I am multiplying by a scale factor of 2/3. That is a repeating decimal, so I need to use that decimal in my calculator accurately. So I'm going to be multiplying each of these points by 2/3. A prime, -6 times 2/3 is -4. 3 times 2/3 is 2. B prime, -3 times 2/3 is -2, and 0 times anything is 0. C prime, 9 times 2/3 is 6, and 18 times 2/3 is 12. So I have just multiplied each of these numbers. There are my new points. Now I'm going to multiply by a scale factor of 4. J prime, well, happily, 0, 0 is going to remain 0, 0. K prime, I've got -5 times 4, -20, -20. L prime will be 5 times 4, +20. -5 times 4 is a -20. And M prime will be 5 and 5 times 4, 20, 20. Alrighty, last problem on this video. What is the scale factor shown in this dilation? It does look like I am getting smaller, so I'm looking for a number less than 1, greater than 0. Let's look at my A. A is at 9, 3. And A prime is at 3, 1. So I am going to take my new and divide it by my old. 3 divided by 9. And I can do it again. New divided by old. 1 divided by 3. This simplifies to 1/3. My scale factor is 1/3. That's all. Thanks for watching.